Welcome to the first ever episode of Boozy by the Plaid Cook. Today we're going to be making something that's traditionally not found in your grandmother's cookbook, unless your grandma likes to have a little drink every once in a while. And that recipe is going to be bourbon pumpkin pie. So let's dive in. To start this recipe off, grab your food processor and add 2 cups flour, 1/4 cup sugar, and 1/2 teaspoon sea salt. Return the lid to the top of your food processor and give it a couple of pulses to get everything well combined. Next up, add in 8 ounces of cubed cold butter. Do not use room temperature butter, otherwise your dough will not turn out right. Replace your lid back on top and give the mixture some pulses to get everything well combined. While your food processor is running on low speed, stream in 4 tablespoons of ice cold water and 2 tablespoons of vodka. Yes, you heard me right, vodka. The alcohol will bake out of the crust, but will help keep the gluten from forming and the crust from becoming hard. Once all the ingredients are in, give them a couple more pulses and get your handy rolling mat out, and dump the wet stand-like dough out onto the mat. Now we are going to be kneading this dough, but not how you normally would. Take the edges of your mat and fold them over to squeeze the dough together until a dough ball starts to form. Remember, do not over knead to let the gluten start to form up. We do not want a hard crust. Once you have a nice dough ball, get some plastic wrap to cover over your dough and then place it in the fridge for 1 hour to let it chill and rest. When the super long hour has passed, retrieve your dough ball from the fridge, unwrap, and place it on a floured rolling surface. Roll your dough out with a rolling pin, but do not roll all the way to the edges. Instead, change the direction you are rolling to catch those edges so your pie dough stays at an even thickness. If any cracks start to form, just pinch them together and keep rolling your dough until it's about 1 inch past your pie pan. When your dough is the right size, take the dough and roll it around your rolling pin, then drape it over your pie pan. Make sure to press down the dough on the inside of the pan and get any air that might be trapped out. Then take a sharp knife and cut off any excess dough around the outside of the pan. If you want to make your pie crust look nice, take 2 fingers on the inside of the dough and your thumb on the outside and press inward with your thumb. Do this repeatedly around the outside of the crust to get a nice looking pie crust just like this one. Next up, get some parchment paper that just does not want to tear from the box. A little bit of a struggle here. And fold it into a triangle shape with one of the points being the center of your paper. Cut off the excess and give it a couple extra cuts to allow it to fit nicely in the center. Once that is all done, take your pie crust and put it in the freezer for 10 minutes. When your time is up, pull your pie crust out of the freezer and put some pie weights in it if you have them. If not, take 2 sheets of foil and make a little tray and put some beans or sugar in it. I chose to use sugar for some toasted sugar, which is quite good for baking. Take your pie crust and put it in a 375-degree oven for 15 minutes to blind bake it. Once your allotted time has passed, remove your pie crust from the oven and take your weight of choice out, which I'm saving for later, and also remove the parchment paper. You should have a nice looking pie shell like this that needs to be set aside and cooled completely before adding your pie filling. Which, speaking of pie filling, get a large mixing bowl and add in 15 ounces of pumpkin puree, 1 cup heavy cream, 1/3 cup sour cream, 2 eggs, 3/4 cup sugar, 1 teaspoon ground cinnamon, 1/2 teaspoon ground ginger, 1/4 teaspoon allspice, and 1/4 teaspoon salt. Oh, and let's not forget the most important part, bourbon. When selecting your bourbon, just remember that'll be one of those dominant flavors in the pie, so make sure you select one that you really like. In my case, I'm adding 2 tablespoons of Maker's Mark into my pie filling. Grab a whisk and mix everything until well combined. Then take your cooled pie shell and pour your bourbon mixture in, making sure to get every last drop. And now you need to... wait, what are you doing? We still need to tint the crust to keep it from becoming burnt to a crisp. Get some aluminum foil and wrap it around your crust to cover all the edges. Once done, take your pie to be and put it in a 375-degree oven for 45 minutes. When your time is up and your center is the only thing that's jiggly, take your pie out of the oven and remove the foil tent to which you need to let your pie... Hey wait, hold on there. It's still gotta cool. Geez, what am I gonna do with you? Place your pie somewhere to cool completely. While it's cooling, get a chilled metal bowl and add 1/2 cup heavy cream, 2 teaspoons brown sugar, 3/4 teaspoon vanilla extract, and 2 teaspoons of bourbon. If you're looking to burn out your forearms, then you can whisk this all together, but we're smarter than that. Get your mixer with a whisk attachment and whisk on medium speed until peaks start to form in your whipped cream. It should look something like this, but just to be sure, take a taste for good measurement. Swap over to the next day since my pie didn't cool in time, and you should get a nice solid pie like this. Now it's time to have a taste. Carve yourself out a nice slice of pie, and then just fail completely at getting it out because it's the first piece, and instead opt to get the second piece out off camera, which turned out perfectly. Top with a nice dollop of the bourbon whipped cream from earlier, and there you have it, bourbon pumpkin pie. It's full of all those traditional pumpkin pie flavors with a twist of bourbon, and the bourbon whipped cream goes perfectly with it. I'm just going to take this off screen to devour it in a way that should not be recorded on camera. But if you enjoyed this video or liked the recipe, consider giving it a like down below, click that subscribe button if you haven't, and leave me a comment about what you think of the recipe, and I'll see you in the next one.